Going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We got Saturday college basketball. Just like in all my videos, I'm going to go over each and every game today. There's a lot of them. Saturdays are big slates. As you guys know, they're one of my favorite days, and I need it. I'm a few games actually below 500 this year in college basketball. I know that sounds like fiction. Those of you who followed my channel for more than just this year, those of you who have a larger sample size of what I've done in sports betting over the years, most of you guys know that college basketball is my #1 sport, even above football. I know that sounds hard to believe. You guys can see the numbers there at the bottom of the screen in terms of what I produce in football, but the run is coming. I think Saturday is the kickoff. You guys have seen it, man. Year after year, I go on these huge runs, 30-3, 30-5, 40-5. I mean, just unbelievable runs where I can't miss. It's been a weird year, kind of a year of chalk. You know, short favorites continue to win. The dogs aren't really getting it done. The big square publics are cashing at a pretty good rate. You know, teams like Auburn and Alabama just continue to cover. Creighton, you know, these big road short favorites. I do think things are going to come back down to earth. It's college hoops. It'll regress to the mean. So looking to get on a nice little run here, guys. I have a ton of picks I've sent out to the client list for this Saturday slate. About half of them have already been sent. I got another pretty big text that'll be sent out later tonight. If you're interested in those, the link to my website's always in the description of my videos, danspicks.net. And you guys do see the NFL numbers. Yes, we do have a little bit of football left this year. The big game, the Super Bowl going on Sunday. I got prop bets, I got sides, I got totals, I got team specials. I have so many. I have same game parlays, like 3 of them I created that I came up with. You guys know how well I hit those. So I just have an ungodly amount of picks that will be sent to the client list between right now and Sunday night. So it's a really good time to be on there. And like I said, man, like I said in the beginning of the video, we need this. We need this Saturday to get the college hoops right. Coming off a pretty bad week, down somewhere around 16 units, I think. That's normal. I have bad weeks. I had some weeks where I was down 20 units in NFL. Still just way in a profit. If you guys expect 52 weeks out of the year to be profitable, that's just not realistic. Everybody's going to have losing weeks and even losing months at times. So looking forward to getting things going here with college basketball. I'm just going to stick to what's put a bunch of money in my pocket year over year over year. Not going to change a thing. So let me grab Pickett Sports here and we'll start running through these games. Let me share the screen. There's that. There's Pickett. That should work for you guys. And here we go, man. Actually, I can adjust that just a little bit more, can't I? Here we go. Saturday, college hoops, Gamecocks, Kentucky Wildcats. 10.5, 11.5, depending on the sports book. The spot says Kentucky. The spot says Kentucky. Absolutely. Kentucky off of that Arkansas game. Okay. Yeah, I like Kentucky here. It's a huge number. I just don't think offensively Carolina has the offensive firepower. Some of those games at home, you know, they've been able to hang in there and they've been close to getting the cover in some fashion, but the offense just isn't there. I don't think they're going to be able to keep pace with a Kentucky team. So that's a big number, but I'll lay the points. Lay that 10.5. You can see there on Bet Rivers. Tennessee and Oklahoma. I got to go with Tennessee. I mean, the kind of what I said in the beginning of the video, it's been kind of an odd year where like some of these short to medium road favorites, which generally is just avoid at all cost, right? Big ranked teams, big highly publicized teams laying short numbers on the road versus lesser competition is almost always the home dog spot. I can't buy the Sooners, man. They're not good enough. I think they're going to struggle rebounding here. I'll go with Tennessee. I'll lay the 5. Oregon, Michigan State. Oregon, I think they're out of gas. I watched every minute of their last game, and they covered, and that was a bet in premium. So we did cash on the Oregon Ducks in their last game. I think they were getting 8.5 points there against Michigan. But that was a heartbreaker. I mean, they fought and they battled and they went down to the end and they still came up short. I just don't know, man. How many times are the Oregon Ducks going to be able to just boost their morale and rally and be mentally engaged? This could be a flat spot. They might just be sick and tired of college basketball this year. I think this is a team that's starting to just, you know, the wheels are really coming off. It's been quite a stretch here, a very ugly stretch. But I think it's actually going to get worse. I just don't know how much longer the team is really going to be mentally engaged. So I'm going to go with Sparty here. Sparty coming off that close loss to UCLA. Give me Sparty at home on a Saturday to get it done. I'll lay the points. TCU, Iowa State, lay the points. I mean, just based on the spot, right? TCU's coming off a win over West Virginia. Now they're on the road versus an Iowa State team that just got absolutely punked. I mean, multiple losses in a row. This has got to be a stomp spot for Iowa State. I'll lay the points. Seton Hall, Georgetown. Spread looks right to me. I expect Georgetown to win somewhere by 10 to 15 points. I'll still lay it. I'll lay the points with Georgetown at home, but that's a pretty big number. Florida Atlantic and Tulsa, probably lay the points there. Richmond and Davidson, great game. I think that's too many points. Davidson wins. I just don't think it's by 10. So I'll take plus 10 with the Spiders. Boston U and Holy Cross. I'm going to go Holy Cross here. I'm going to go Holy Cross. I think the wrong team is, well, it's an exact pick 'em. I was going to say favored. I thought that was minus 115 there for a minute. It's minus 105. Yeah, Holy Cross, money line play. Take them at home. No brainer. Wisconsin, Iowa. I'll go with Wisconsin here. Iowa's just bad. I mean, in tons of years past, man, this would be a slam spot. This would be a home run. That's a revenge game, right? Wisconsin already beat the absolute dog water out of the Hawkeyes earlier this year. I see a similar result. Not quite as bad, but enough to cover 4.5. I'll go with Wisconsin. Michigan, Indiana. Interesting. I think because the number is short enough, again, kind of like what I've been saying here, I'm going to go with Michigan. Again, just normally, man, on normal years, this is, again, like a big, notable team that has been winning a bunch of games, and they're only laying 2.5. Generally, that would just be an automatic trap. You just grab a couple points or go money line with the home team. Respectable program, Indiana. No, I'll go with Michigan here. They're the better team. They're going to get the win, and the chance that they win and don't cover it's pretty slim. So I'll lay the 2.5 with Michigan. Virginia Tech, Notre Dame, I'll lay it. Texas and Vandy, I'll lay it as well. Give me Vanderbilt at home. They should take care of Texas. They've been taking care of a lot better teams than Texas. Youngstown, Detroit, Mercy, probably take the points. Citadel, VMI, pass. Lipscomb and Queens, probably take the 5 with Queens at home. Wagner and Fairleigh Dickinson, probably take the 4.5 with Wagner. Troy and Miami O. I don't know, man. These Ohio teams have been weird this year. Probably just a pass on that one. Probably pass on these two. No real opinion there. Marquette and Creighton. Interesting. I did glance at this earlier today, and I do believe the line was shorter, if I can remember. I think this opened up at Marquette as like a 1-point favorite or maybe 2. Now we're seeing a 3.5 out there on BetMGM. And I will take that 3.5. I'm going to have to disagree with the line movement. I was really, really disappointed Marquette was not able to beat St. John's the other night. And this is a back-to-back road spot. But Creighton's actually coming off a travel spot too. So that kind of negates that. If you can somewhat neutralize Kalkbrenner, you can absolutely beat Creighton. I do think Marquette wins this game outright. I'm not sure what the line movement is. Probably because everybody's betting Creighton because they just continue to cash, and I can understand that, but I'm going to take as many points as I can get with Marquette in this one. I thought they should have beat St. John. St. John's got just an incredible whistle. Really, really unfair in my opinion. And for the first half, Cam Jones really, really struggled. So it was just kind of a bad game for Marquette. So they're kind of coming off a loss, Creighton off an impressive win. I think the spot is good for Marquette there. Jayhawks, Wildcats, rivalry game. I think I got to go with Kansas. I mean, this is, again, just another example of just this year being a little bit different, guys. Rivalry game, you're going to give me 4.5 points with Kansas State, who's been playing good. They beat Iowa State, right? Seems like an absolute no-brainer. Jerome Tang has the guys playing good. They're at home. They kind of had a scrappy game with Kansas in the first matchup. I can't do it. I think Bill Self is figuring things out with Kansas. I like the way Kansas has been looking lately. If we can get a couple of jumpers to go down for Mayo and Griffin and some of these other shooters, maybe Harris has a decent game. Kansas is a better team. And I hate Kansas. I hate Kansas, man. You guys know I went to school, West Virginia. I'm laying the 4. It's a reasonable number. Give me the Jayhawks. UCF and Baylor. Give me the points in UCF. What are we doing here? 10.5? This should be a tight game. Wouldn't shock me if this was an outright upset. Yeah, I mean, I get it. UCF's just looked horrible lately, but they still have the ability to get up, and I think they will here. Miami and Louisville, you have to lay it. Well, I mean, you cannot bet on Miami. William and Mary in Delaware, that's a pass for me. Just coin flip game. Probably a good one just to watch and not bet on. Yale Cornell, same thing. I'll lay the points with Yale, though. They're the better team. UNC Wilmington, Drexel. No opinion there. These games, no opinion, no opinion. Moorhead getting 3.5 is tempting. Maybe that's a trap. No real opinion on any of these others. Coin flip, coin flip. A lot of the stuff is just super coin flippy. We're talking spreads of 1 to 2. I don't have a maybe Lehigh on the money line, maybe. Yeah, just not a lot of opinion on those games. You guys know I focus mainly in Power 4 and the better conferences overall, West Coast Conference and Mountain West and stuff like that, but not so much like the real bottom dwellers. JMU and Toledo's, again, just great games to watch, right? And I will be watching all of them. I'm just not going to be betting on them. They're just kind of coin flippy games. Colgate at home getting not a bad line there. I know Loyola Maryland, made some noise years ago, but I think Colgate laying 6.5 is actually a decent bet there. Providence and Butler, I'll lay the 3 with Butler. They're not the better team, but the spot looks good for Butler. They're going to get a win there. Syracuse and BC. Who's Syracuse to be laying 7.5, 8.5? I'll take 8.5 with BC. Texas A&M catching 4 versus Missouri. Give me the 4. Should be a close game. I'll take those 4 points. Florida Gators getting 9.5 versus Auburn. I'm going to lock up Auburn, man. What are we doing? Why would we bet against this team? And they're at the Jungle? Yeah, I don't know. Florida's kind of soft. I don't like their mentality at times. They kind of shut down and their offense disappears. That's a big problem if you want to cover against Auburn. So I'd have to lay the 9.5. But that could be an outright upset. It just kind of depends on what Florida team comes to play. Houston, Colorado should be a blowout. I just don't know how Colorado is going to do anything productive here. It's still an away game in conference, but I'd have to lay the points with Houston. Again, it's just this type of year where I'm starting to come around to, just the better teams are just getting it done. Doesn't matter about lines anymore, or, line movement or money splits. The better teams are getting the job done. UCLA over Penn State, same thing. I'll lay the 8.5 points with UCLA. I think they just keep the train rolling. I don't like that Penn State team. Pittsburgh and UNC, give me UNC. This is like a potentially save your job type game. Afternoon in Chapel Hill, the Tar Heels have got to get this one. Pitt is not good at all. 4.5 is really reasonable. I expect a good showing here from UNC. They got to win some. UNLV in Wyoming, I'll take the 2.5 there. Towson, Monmouth, good game there. Probably look at Monmouth getting 5.5. New Mexico Air Force, pass. Rhode Island and GW, or not GW, George Mason. George Mason and GW played the other night. It was a great game. Watched every minute of it. In this game, though, I'm going to take the 8. Give me Rhode Island. I'll take the +8. No lines available there. Pass on those. More games with lines down. We got Wake Forest. What was that line? Wake Forest laying 2.5 against Cal. Sure, sign me up. Give me Wake. Western Kentucky and Jacksonville State. I'll take the 4.5. Utah going to Morgantown. Interesting. 7.5. I think I got to take the points with Utah, but West Virginia is going to win the game. G-Tech and Virginia, that's probably close to a pick 'em. I would lean Virginia at home. Illinois, Minnesota, interesting game. I'm going to go ahead and lay the number with Illinois there. Minnesota's put off some pretty big upsets this year, and that place could definitely be rocking, and that does concern me a little bit. I just think the team's rosters are a little bit far apart. I think Illinois is going to kind of go on a little run here, so I'll lay the 7.5. Maybe take some free throws at the end. Miss State, Georgia, no opinion there. Good one to watch. I'm going to go Georgia. I'm going to lean Georgia at home. Find a way to get it done. BYU, Cincy. No line available, but I saw this earlier. I think it was close to a pick 'em, if I can remember. And I'm going to lean it Cincy. I'm going to go lean Cincy here, man. They got that big, impressive road win in their last game, and they have got to go on a run here. They have the players, man. Like, they have a decent roster. They've been close in some of these games. They're a little bit worrisome down the stretch. If this game's close, BYU probably pulls it out. But I'm going to lean on the Bearcats, man. They haven't been getting a lot of home wins. They got to get this one. This is a must-win game. Give me Cincy. I'm going to pass on those two as well. No opinion. Duke and Clemson. What was that line? I think it was 8.5 or 9.5. I think it was upper single digits when I glanced at it earlier. And I'm going to take the points with Clemson. I mean, Duke, I feel like they haven't been tested one time all year. They're just casually just like walking through the park, man. This ACC is so pathetic. Clemson's one of the few teams that can actually put up a fight. Maybe Duke finally loses one. Maybe sprinkle on the Clemson money line. I would take the points, though, if it was upper single digits, which is what I think it is. NC State and Stanford. I'll go Stanford. Lay the 4.5. Pass on these ones, pass on those ones, and pass on these ones, and pass on those ones. Gonzaga, I wonder what that line is. Gonzaga, man, they're I'm writing them off. I was kind of waiting on them for them to just start playing better. But Ike and Nemhard, I don't know. Has the coach lost his touch? I'm not liking Gonzaga basketball right now. Ole Miss and LSU, 5.5, 6.5. The line screams LSU, but is this just another spot? Just like the year's been going, man. This is a spot where you would be all over LSU, a line that looks way too short. You would think this should be like 8 or 9. It's only like 5.5 you have to lay with Ole Miss. Generally, that's a trap. I'll lay the points with the better team. LSU, they stink, man. They stink. Bama, Arkansas. Does Arkansas kind of come back down to earth, or do they just keep playing with just a brand new sense of identity, man? They look like a whole different team. I think it's one way or another. If you think Arkansas is going to continue to play well, I'd look at that plus 200 on the money line. But I think they come back down to earth. I don't think they're as good as Bama. I think Bama has better team chemistry, better. They're just more cohesive. I'm going to go Bama, laying 6.5. San Fran, laying 3.5. Maybe not a bad bet there. UTEP, St. Mary's, Oregon State. I like St. Mary's in that spot. St. Mary's coming off that San Fran game, so I think that's a good spot there. And Oregon State has been scrappy, but yeah, give me St. Mary's laying the 4. I was impressed with how good they looked against Gonzaga the other night. San Diego State, Colorado State, good game here, and I'm going to lean at Colorado State. I think the line is speaking volumes here. I'm surprised that Colorado State's a short favorite. Texas Tech, Arizona, one of the better games of the entire Saturday slate. And I'm going to lean on the home court, man. 10:30 home game against Texas Tech. You know, Texas Tech's off that Houston upset. I mean, they've been playing good overall. Other games have been in the mix. Arizona, man, this place is going to be on fire. It was for, who did they beat? They, when Caleb Love hit like the 60, 70 footer to get it to overtime, and then they beat somebody in overtime. I remember that game because I won a wager on them, I believe. But anyways, what I'm trying to get at, the place is going to be on fire. I don't think Texas Tech is just going to continue to pull off, upsets of this magnitude. I know it looks attractive and they have talent there, but yeah, I'm going to go with Arizona. Hopefully the guards don't let me down, because the Arizona guards, I'm still hesitant to want to back them. And then we got Northwestern and Washington. Northwestern money line I had the other day over, was it USC? I can't remember. Cash on Northwestern recently. And I'm going to go to Northwestern again here. This Washington team, they're bad, man. You had a 10-point lead at home against Nebraska and blew it. And they come at a halftime on their home court in a must-win game, and you let Nebraska go on a 15-2 run without even trying to stop the bleeding. There's no way I could ever put another dollar on Washington again. I'll take Northwestern. Give me that 2.5. So there you guys go. There's Saturday's slate. Definitely some good games in the mix, presenting a good opportunity. I need it. I'm going to hit it hard, man. I got some big plays. Like I said, I've already sent out some already, early lines that I liked. I got a lot more coming. And obviously, Sunday, I'm going to finish NFL and just continue the heater, man. Up almost 50 units just on an unstoppable run in NFL. So looking to absolutely clean up on this Super Bowl. I have very, very confident picks. Some 5, 6, 7 unit plays will be in the mix. So, yeah, looking forward to this weekend for sure. See you in the next video.